So we're live, and we're live here with Lisa Marie in Australia, and we're live with the Mai in Copenhagen, and I'm Catherine in Oslo, and today we're going to talk about nurturing your gifts and abilities into profit. And Lisa, tell me a little bit about nurturing your gifts. What does that actually mean? And the people that you've met, because you've done this for a while now. What do you see that people don't recognize about themselves when it comes to that, to their
Yeah,
gifts?
wow. It's interesting because I thought I was good at one thing for a really long time, and that was marketing. Like my jobs for like 15 years were all about marketing, and I just thought I was good at marketing. And when I went to look at, well, I'd like to work for myself and I'd like to do something different, it was really tricky to actually come up with, well, what else could I do that I would be good at? Because I'd put myself into such a box. And part of what we're going to talk about with this topic is, well, how do you take yourself out of the box? How do you actually get to see all of the different things that you're good at? And not just good at, but brilliant and amazing at, because that's where the real fun begins. And even, I'm going to give you guys a tip just straight up. One of the things I've been playing with this year is actually just asking to unhide all of the gifts and talents that I've got that I never actually acknowledged before. And I've just been asking the universe to show me, well, what are they? How can they show up? And it's been amazing for me to see all these different things that it would never have occurred to me to consider I would be good at. And all of a sudden they're like here and they're starting to take form and take shape. And in some cases I'm already making money from them. So what we're going to play with this, because, there's a really common thing that's sort of put out, in the entrepreneurial circles of, well, do what you love and the money will come. And
Right.
it's not quite as simple as that. I wish it was, but it's like, if you love fishing, well, maybe if you become a commercial fisherman, that could be a possibility. But if you just want to hang out on Sundays, on the lake in your tinny, that's maybe not going to work for you. And what I've started really looking at is, well, what are the things that people would pay me for? And the more over the last 8 years, the more I've expanded what I'm willing to be paid for, the more fun I've been having and the more money I've made as well. And a lot of people say, oh, you should niche, you should just pick one thing and, get really good at it. And that works for some people. So I'm not saying it's not a good strategy, but there's a lot of people who are actually good at a whole heap of different things. And if they just did one thing, they would be so bored they would want to die. I'm one of those people. And one of the things that I'd love to play with when we run the one-day events of, nurturing your gifts and talents into profit is actually looking at, well, all the possibilities of how you can make money. Because for a lot of people, it's like they try one thing, it doesn't work, so they think they're no good at anything. And that's just giving up on yourself. That's not actually looking at, well, what's truly possible. And so what I'm inviting everyone to really is the adventure of exploring, well, what else is there, and what else, and what else, and what else, and what else, so that you never come to a point where you can't make money, because there's always so many different possibilities.
Right. And someone actually asked me about, well, so is this just another workshop about making money? And it's not really, is what I said, because it is also about nurturing profit. And profit doesn't have to only be money, right?
Well, exactly, and thank you for saying that, because, there's kind of two kinds of people in the world. One of them is all about the money and everything has to do with money. And then there's the other people who it's all about living, it's all about creating, it's all about, doing things in different ways so that, yes, you can have money and you can have profit and you can actually be more of who you are. Because for a lot of us, we've been through the corporate sort of side of things and we've come out the other side going, wow, that was just not enough for me, And probably this workshop, if I really looked at it, is for people who are going, whatever I've got now, it's not enough for me. And yes, of course we're going to talk about money because we need to live in this world at this point in time, right? And a lot of people come because they want more money, but actually it's the creation of the other things and the nurturing of your gifts, the nurturing of what's possible for you that creates the money. And if you try and go very directly to the money, you might be able to make money from some idea you've got, and it probably won't be sustainable. Whereas what we're really talking about with this topic is, well, how do we make this sustainable? How do we make it joyful? How do we make it playful? So that when you actually wake up in the morning, you don't have to go, oh my God, and think about your 10,000 things on your to-do list. You actually go, oh wow, what can I create today? And that's a totally different energy. So yes, we're going to talk about money because it's part of, the world, and we don't want to exclude it. And we're going to talk about it probably in a very different way to what you ever have before.
Exactly. I like it.
I really like how you address this kind of having a nurture platform, creating from, and also about the money. I see, and also with myself, that actually it's more difficult to allow yourself to earn a lot of money for something that's very easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, because for so many people, money should not come easy, right? And so what happens, it becomes this really strange thing where it's like, well, if it's easy, I can't make money, and, therefore making money is hard. And it becomes a really miserable way to live. And what we're going to talk about is pretty much the complete opposite of that, because it's like, well, what if you could make more money than you've ever made before, and it could be way more fun than you've ever had before? And this is a part of allowing ourselves to receive what's actually possible with ease. Because for so many of us, we've been taught we have to do it the hard way. We have to find challenges. We have to, struggle to get where we're getting. And like, people wear their struggle as this sort of, badge of honor. And I'm like, well, actually, and I used to, so I'm not judging you if you're doing that. Please know that. I used to think it was so awesome that I could struggle so much and work so hard to create what I created. And now I'm just like, oh man, let me have it easy. Like, how much fun can I have? And what's the fastest, easiest, most joyful, creative way I can do this? And when you create your business from that space, the money wants to come to you, because money follows joy, and it loves that energy of just space and peace and creation that sort of point of view creates. So it is like, yeah, you can continue to struggle for the rest of your life if you like, and that's just a choice. Or you can literally go, okay, I'm having something else now. And that's what we're going to play with, is the something else.
And so where would you say that people can start if they really don't know what their talents or abilities are? Like, how do they start trying to go into that?
Yeah, well, one of the things to do really is to just look at, well, what's easy for me, what's fun for me, and what is it that it's not so easy and fun for other people. And like, for me, one of those things was writing. And I was so surprised, because I did not think I was a particularly good writer. And it took a bit of convincing from a few people in the beginning for me to get that I was. And it's like that thing that people always ask you to do. And like, if you're volunteering somewhere, they always say, oh, get Lisa to do this because she's good at that, or get Catherine to do that because she's really good at that. Start looking at and make a list of all of the things that people ask you to do because you're good at it. Sorry, excuse me. Even if it's like you don't think you're that good at it, or you're kind of confused as to why they ask you, that's generally the good place to start, because they're the things that you do so naturally that you don't even realize other people can't do them. And that's where the money is. It's in the fact that other people can't do them with ease, and they're willing to pay you. Like, I'm willing to pay people to do all my bookkeeping, because that's not a natural thing for me at all. So it's like looking at, well, what are the things that I would like to pay other people for? They're the things you shouldn't do in your business. And then what are the things that I would love people to pay me for? Like, in my wildest dreams, if people could pay me for anything, what would be so fun? And that's just one place to start. And then you want to start trying some of them out. Because, when I was at school, I thought I wanted to be a chef. And I was talking about this with my mum a couple of days ago. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did work experience and I tried it out, because I realised that, yes, I love cooking. Do I want to be a chef? No way in hell, And so it's like, start looking at it. And every time someone says open a cafe, I'm like, oh, no, thank you, because I know that it wouldn't be fun for me. And so this is where you want to be willing to have the adventure of trying different things out and just seeing, well, would it be fun if I did this every day for 3 weeks? Would I like to get paid for this day in, day out? And for a lot of people, it's not choosing just one thing. It's literally looking at the whole broad spectrum of what's possible, and then creating something that's really unique to you, really different for you, that you can bring to the world in a way that no one else really does.
And this is what we're going to talk about in one-day workshop, right? So that's just where we're going to start off with this. And so what would you say? You've done this a couple of times now, around the world even. And what are some of the things that people are experiencing after workshops with you, like even just the one-day ones?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is people see their possibilities expand dynamically. Because one of the things about my particular brain is that I can look at a list of really disparate, odd things and go, that one, and that one, put them together like this, and you can create this out of it. And so part of the fun is like, we're going to actually get really hands-on. So it's not just talking in those workshops. We're literally going to be playing with how you can bring things together that will make something that you would actually like to create. And that, it can be very different in every workshop. And sometimes we're probably going to, well, it's so funny, I hadn't thought about this till right now, but it's here, is that for some people, it's going to be, they're going to find people to collaborate and co-create with just because of, we're going to be talking about all this kind of stuff and about what you would like to create in the world. And that, of course, then allows you to find other people who may have similar desires. And it's always fun creating with other people. I mean, I'm creating with you guys, and it's really a joy to do that. So together we do create more than if we always try and do everything by ourselves. So there will be so many different things that will come out of these workshops. And my question really is, what would you like to create from it? What would you like to discover? What's the thing that if you went away after that day, you would be thrilled to have? Because if you ask me that at the beginning of the day, there's a good chance we can go a long way towards it, if not get there completely and wholly.
Exactly. And your first workshop is actually going to be in Oslo on the 17th of June. We have a full day to play in Oslo. And then we have another one in Kristiansand for the first time in Kristiansand. So it's very exciting. And that's on the 19th of June. And then you're going to be in Copenhagen with Mai as well, right?
Yes, we are in Copenhagen at the 1st of July on Wednesday from 9:30 to 5 p.m. So
yeah,
we look very much forward to this. Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well because, it actually gives me so much joy to see people blossom into what they truly are, that they've just been hiding from themselves. And these days always have this kind of unhiding, uncovering effect where you get to see yourself as who you are much more than who you thought you were, It really is getting out of the box and into the whole space of, okay, well, what else can I be that I've never imagined? So if you would like to come play with us, or if you've got any questions, you can find all the information about these classes at www.creativitylab.tv/Europe. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to coming and playing with everyone and meeting new people and seeing what change we can create in the world through our ideas. So thanks so much for having me here today.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Lisa.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.